Okay, so I've been promising to make videos to tell y'all what's been going on, if I'm still at VL and all this type of stuff. So this is that video. Hopefully I can keep up and make videos more frequently, but I'm not gonna make that promise because I don't know if I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna tell you my story. So my trailer was broken into. This is going all the way back to last year now. Me and my co-driver, we split up. We got a second truck with VL. So he ended up hiring a driver, a friend of his, and I ended up hiring one of my best friends. This is in April. We got the truck like April 22nd. We took a load from Illinois to California, I think, something like that. We ended up in California. We got a load from California coming back east. So we picked up the load. The shippers were about to close when we picked up this load. It was like, rush and get there. They gonna load the truck and all this. We got there. We backed it to the dock. They loaded the truck. They was like, they had to watch us put the lock thingy on the seal. So if you work for VL, well, with us, our dispatcher always tell us to make sure that we take a picture that we secured the load, take a picture of the doors being closed with the seal on there and stuff like that. So when I was closing the trailer, the guy at the shipper was like, hurry up and close it. Like, so I'm like, sir, wait, like I need to take pictures. So when I was closing the doors, I remember seeing the boxes, and the boxes having like some monitor screens. I never really pay attention to what's in the trailer, but this day I was like, what is that? I saw the big screen on the box. So we closed the door, we took the pictures, and he was like, okay, we can go. So we drove from California all the way to Arizona to exit 9. This is the first this is the first pilot that you're gonna get into coming from California, just like the first pilot in Arizona. So we're on I-40 at this time. So we stopped there. We stopped there because we needed to fuel. We never fuel in California, so we're gonna fuel before we go into California. We're gonna fuel when we come out of California, because everybody know fuel prices in California is way too high. So we stopped in Arizona. So now we about to fuel. So I wasn't driving, my friend was driving. So I'm sitting in the passenger seat though. So basically she was in training. So as she's fueling, she get back in the truck and she like, oh, these people watching us, and they just standing there and this and that, like real fussy. But I'm not that type of person. Like, I felt like it was men watching her. She's a female and she's a pretty girl, so like people gonna be like, this girl getting out the truck and it's gonna draw attention to her. So I'm like, where? Like, what you talking about? So she was like, they behind us, they just standing there watching us and all this. Like, what they watching us for? So I was like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. So after we fuel, I was like, well, let's just take a shower and stop here for the night. At first I was going to switch and drive further, but I was like, no, we don't have to do that. We could just park and take a shower. I was gonna pull straight in the reserve spot, like directly in front of the fuel aisle, but I was like, no, it's parking spots back here. Let's just park in a regular parking spot. And then I never park straight in, but this is how I was feeling this night. Like, I guess I was just tired. I didn't feel like doing all the other stuff. So we ended up going around. She got out to spot me as I was backing up, and when she got back to the truck, she was like the same man right there, like just extra fussy. Oh, I just cussed them out and all this type of stuff. So I'm like, what? So she was like, the men, like, they done came all the way from down there, now they over here, and they just standing there watching us. So now I'm thinking like, oh shit, like they trying to do something to us. So she got back in the truck, I backed up, we got our stuff to go take a shower. Both of us hurry up and walked in together. I made sure like the truck was secure or whatever. We went in, we took a shower. While we were walking into the pilot, it was a guy jumping out the back of a trailer. So I'm like, what is he doing? So that wasn't our business, so we kept walking. As we're walking, it's a young lady sitting on the front of the truck. This seemed weird to me too, so I'm like, why is she sitting right there in the dark by herself? I wanted to ask her, was she okay? But then I was like, no, that's not my business. Like, she probably mad at her boyfriend or something, because she looked like she was upset. So I kept walking. Okay, so I was trying to explain to y'all about the girl sitting on the front of the truck. I didn't tell y'all what my point of saying it. So I think that the girl that was sitting on the front of the truck, that she was with the people that broke into the trailer, like she was the watch out, because as she was sitting on the front of the truck, as we walked in, when we came out of the shower, she was sitting in the laundry part inside the Pilot. So this is my theory, like she was telling them like, hey, they went and took a shower, they coming out the shower, like y'all need to hurry up type of stuff. And then when they told us like, hey, they broke into your truck, then she just disappeared. So I'm like, hey, go back inside and find that girl, see if she with them or where she at. And the manager didn't want to do it, but she was already gone. So I'm like, she had something to do with it. She was the watch out for them. So that was my whole point of saying about the girl sitting on the front of the truck. The guy jumping out the back of the trailer, I don't know if he was with them. I don't know if he was stealing out those people's trailer or what was going on. No one ever mentioned him or who else was in my trailer, but I know for sure that girl had something to do with it. So that was my point of saying that. So now we come out the shower, we about to go to Wendy's and get something to eat before we get back in the truck, because once we get in the truck, the door's about to be locked and we not getting back out. Like, I already felt like it was a problem with the men now, because it was the 2 incidents. Excuse me. So as we walk into Wendy's, I don't know if it was before or after, but then I hear the Pilot employee, the cashier, was saying something about a suspicious person or something like that. So I'm like, sir, what did you just say? So he was telling me, he was like, yeah, do we get reports about a suspicious person in the parking lot or something like that? So I'm like, that's weird, because we just had an incident with the men out there and whatever happened. So he was like, oh, well, I don't know about that. Like, I don't have nothing to do with that. I ain't hear all that. So we walking out the door now, and the manager was like, is that your truck? Is that your truck? Something about a red truck. I'm not familiar with the red truck, because we just got this truck 5 days ago. So my old truck is blue, but this truck is red. So now I hear them talking about the red truck, and he's like, is that your red truck? He was like, the red truck just got broken into. So I'm like, what? So I'm like, this crazy. We get ready to walk out. He was like, yeah, like he walked with us. He was saying that the men went in there in a trailer, and they took whatever they took out of us. He was like, but this what we were able to get from them, because they dropped it as they were going out. So I'm like, okay, we walk to the truck. He was like, no, don't walk to the truck. We're going to stop right here. We called the police. We're going to wait for the police, because he said that another VL truck is the people that called inside the Pilot and called the police to say that my truck was getting broken into. So so now we have to wait for the police. So I'm like, let's walk closer. He was like, no, I don't know if they still there, because one of the men got left. The van that was stealing the merchandise out of the truck, he pulled off and left the guy, but one of the employees were able to take pictures of the van and stuff like this. So when the police came, I really didn't have much to tell him, because I don't know what happened, but I told him what I knew, and he was like, okay, he's going to write a report. As we're waiting for the police, I had text my dispatcher. I didn't call him because it was real late, but I texted him. I was like, call me in the morning, the trailer was broken into and stuff like that. I ended up talking to the other VL people that called, and they were telling me what happened. They were like, they were watching their truck also, but I guess when they saw that they had a hazmat load, they didn't bother their truck. It was like they were walking around the truck and all this type of stuff. They said when they saw the van pull up in front of my truck, they thought that somebody had like a flat tire or something. That people come and they change out the tires, like they do private side work and stuff like that. So that's what they would think. But it was like they was there, and they just keep seeing bringing all these boxes out. They was like, wait, something not right. So they ended up calling VL, they ended up calling Pilot, and they ended up calling the police. So shout out to those people in that green VL truck. So after that, VL ended up calling us and asking us questions and all this type of stuff, and they were saying like to get a police report, but the police never gave me a police report. They gave me something, they said some type of incident paper. They said that they were going to call me and let me know whatever happens further with the case. So we went to sleep that night. So I'm like, let me just stay here, and we'll deal with the situation in the morning, because it was really nothing for us to do. I didn't want to ride off, and then they tell me, oh, I needed to stay there and all this. I think my dispatcher ended up calling me or texting me or something like that later on. So he was like, because I sent him a picture of the van, which I got from the employee from inside the pilot, and he was like, how did you get this picture and stuff like that. It made me feel like he was trying to say that I had something to do with it, because when VL called me, they were just like, oh, like, how did the trailer get broken into? Like, what? Like, what do you mean, how did it get broken into? Somebody went back there and popped the seal and took the stuff out of there. That's how it got broken into. Like, I'm in California. I'm all the way from Florida. I don't know these people. I don't know anything about anything that has to do with this trailer being broken into. I've been driving with VL for almost a year at that time. So I was really confused with them asking me the questions that they were asking me. I was really upset because no one bothered to say, well, hey, are you okay? Do you guys need anything or something like that? It's two females. We just got this truck a few days ago. Like, they weren't concerned with us. They were just concerned with what was on the back of that trailer. So in the morning time, he was just like he was confused and like he was distraught more than we were. He was like, because I'm asking him, should I stay here? Do you want me to leave and take the rest of the stuff, to the rest of the inventory to the delivery, or what do you want me to do? He was like, okay, hold on, give me a minute. Then he was like, go. And then when I left, he was like, did I tell you to leave? I don't know if he was saying that sarcastically or being rude, or if he was really confused saying, did I tell you that already? Because me and my dispatcher, we don't get along. Like, I don't like him. He has a really slick mouth, so I don't know how he was really saying it. But that's what he said. He was like, did I tell you to leave? So I told him that he told me to go, and things like that. We ended up going. I took pictures. I sent them all the pictures I had. They kept calling me, telling me I needed to make a report and all this stuff. But I cooperated. I did whatever they told me to do, because what else was I supposed to do? I didn't have anything to do with this. I'm just delivering the load. So we ended up taking delivering the load. And when we got to the delivery, the people called me, was like, hey, like, do you guys know that you have missing inventory? Like, it's pallets missing. So I'm like, yes, like, I know that. Like, you guys don't know that? Because VL told me that they were going to call you and let you know what happened. It was like, oh no, we don't know anything. No one called us and told us anything. So I explained the situation to them. I showed them the incident report that the officer gave me, and they took the stuff off the trailer. So it ended up being like 150 boxes missing, and those boxes had gaming consoles, laptops, or something of that sort. I don't know the exact name, but it was like a laptop, but like for gaming or something. But the officer told me, the officer said that this was the second time that a trailer had done been broken into at this same location at this Arizona pilot at exit 9 in Arizona. Lake who?
Havasu.
In Lake Havasu in Arizona, exit 9 on I-40. He was like, this was the second trailer that was broken into. He was like, the trailer came from the exact same shipper. So to me, that means that someone, it's an inside job, someone that's working inside this warehouse is informing these people what's in these trailers, and to either follow us to steal the merchandise or something of that sort. Because how is this the second trailer coming from the shipper that's got broken into with the same exact products on there? There's no way this is just a coincidence, unless somebody just laying on this warehouse and stealing the products. They know what they have inside of there or something like that. But he was like, I gave him a picture with the van, so he was able to take the tag number off the van, and he traced it back to where the van came from. So he was like, do you know where this location is? So I'm like, sir, I don't know anything about California. I'm from Florida. I just came here to pick up this load and go about my business. So I looked it up and I told him, this place is 24 miles away from the shipper. So he was like, yeah, they followed y'all the entire way. Because I'm like, I don't think, because he was asking like, do you think that someone followed you? I was like, no, we came all the way from California all the way to here. Like, I don't think they followed us. So he was like, yeah, they followed y'all. This place is 24, the tag is registered 24 miles away from the shipper. I told all of this stuff to VL. Anything that I knew, I told him, because again, I didn't have anything to do with this. I don't steal. So I told him everything that I was told. Anything that I knew, I told him. So at that point, the situation was dead. The case was closed. The officer never called me. No one ever said anything else after I had to make a written report of what happened. Even though I explained this to them several times, I had to write a written report. So someone in the office called me. I did the written report with them. It was dead. Come June, I get my statement or settlement for the week, and it says a deduction of $5,000. So I'm like, huh, this the wrong person. Like they might have confused me with someone, because there's no way they just took $5,000 from my settlement. So I called VL immediately, like, excuse me, is $5,000 missing from my statement? Like, I think you guys made a mistake. So the lady in the accountant was like, ma'am, hold on, let me transfer you, because she don't want to talk about it. I know she didn't. She already knew that this was going to lead to something else. She like, yeah, let me transfer you to operations manager. So she transferred me. When she transferred me, they pick up the phone. Well, she didn't say the operation manager, but that's who I ended up speaking to. So she was like, let me transfer you. So when he picked up the phone, he was like, hello, this is Vic. So I was like, you said this is Vic? So he was like, yes, how can I help you? He is a very rude individual. I don't give a damn. I don't like him either. So I was like, this is me, truck number such and such and such. I'm calling you about my settlement because I don't understand why I have a deductible of $5,000. I think it was a mistake made somewhere. But the lady did tell me, do you remember the trailer was broken into or something like that? So I was like, yeah, and then she transferred me. So I was like, the lady in the accountant was saying something about the trailer being broken into. So he was like, yeah, so what part you don't understand? I'm instantly mad, because first of all, y'all already done took my damn money, like $5,000. And then you talk about, oh, what part you don't understand? It wasn't oh, what can I help you with? How can I better help you understand why the $5,000 was taken? He like, oh yeah, so what's up? Like, what you don't get? So I'm like, every time I talk to you, it's always a problem. Like, you talk to me like I'm retarded or something. So he was like, I've only had the pleasure of speaking with you maybe 1 or 2 times. And I said, and like I said, every time I talk to you, you talk to me like I'm retarded. So I was like, look, I just want to turn this truck in because I don't have time for this. Like, you're not going to keep talking to me the way that you talk to me. It's like, I feel like the men there don't have respect for women. Like, they feel like you beneath them or something. You're not going to talk to me like that. We're not going to do that. Like, I don't give a damn who you are or who you think you are, or if you think that you better than women, this is not the woman that you're going to talk to like that. So we just going to kill this before it gets out of hand. So I told him I want to turn my truck in. So he was like, oh, he want to talk now. Like, what can I help you with? I'm trying to talk to you. I'm trying to explain. I'm like, you didn't try to explain. I just asked you a question. We're trying to ask you a question, telling you that I didn't understand why $5,000 was taken out of my settlement, and now you want to talk. So basically he was saying, oh, it's in your contract. It tells you in your contract about if cargo's stolen, then you have to pay a deductible. And now this part is true. It's definitely true. And I knew this way beforehand, and I did read my contract. First of all, you're not going to remember everything in your contract. That's first and foremost. But let me tell you guys that you do need to read your contract. Don't just sign everything and then you don't know or you don't remember stuff. But it is in your contract that if stuff like this happened, then most likely you will end up paying a deductible. So that is very much true. He is not wrong on that part. It's just the way that he handled the situation, the way that he was talking, like I felt like it was unnecessary. And then you're going to be upset because this is my money that I worked hard for, and now it's just taken and no one has an explanation. Like, oh yeah, well, your trailer got broken into, so what you expect? Like, our merchandise got stolen, so who fault that is? So I'm telling him, like, wait, so you saying it's my fault that the merchandise was stolen? He was like, you was driving a truck, right? So I'm boiling at this point. Like, I'm highly upset. So I didn't really have an understanding for anything he was trying to tell me. But like I said, that is right. You most likely you're going to have to pay a deductible. It's different situations for different companies, but it'll be in your contract if a situation like this was to occur, what will happen. But furthermore, in my contract, it does not state that what the deductible is, what I would have to pay if this incident was to happen. It doesn't have a number there at all. Besides that, they are quick to tell you that, most companies have a minimum. You have to have a cargo insurance, a minimum of $100,000. They're quick to tell you that, our cargo insurance, the amount is $250,000. So if the cargo insurance amount is bigger, then the deductible should be less, not more. So why am I paying $5,000? But again, like I said, I was ready to get out this truck. I'm pissed off at this time. The reason why I didn't turn my truck in at that moment is because I was on a load. I had a lot of stuff in the truck, and I had my sister in the truck with me. So I needed to take my sister home. I needed to take my stuff out the truck, and I still needed to deliver the load instead of just abandoning it. I didn't want to do that. So I tried to calm down some and think rationally. I called my co-driver, my partner in the other truck, and I told him what happened. I'm like, look, like this was going on and stuff like that. You could call them and talk to them, because when you call them and talk to them, it's always a better understanding than when they speak with me. So I tried to calm down some. And he tried to tell me, like, trying to rationalize and be like, well, does it really make sense for you to just do that and such and such and such? Remember, if you turn the truck in, you have to pay another $5,000 for turning the truck in, because you don't have a walkaway lease with VL. You have to pay $5,000 to turn your truck in. So I ended up keeping the truck, still working, still running loads, still getting headaches from my dispatcher. But I had to pay the $5,000, and shit, nothing really came out of it. From that point on, it just seemed to get worse and worse, and things just started to go downhill more and more. Most likely I'll tell you about that in another video, because I don't want to make this video too long. I already talk a lot. So we're going to cut this short. I'll try to insert some pictures of what these scandalous people did to my load. I have some pictures of where they took like the whole damn pallet and they cut my brand new straps, and they even took the damn seal with them. So I'll try to insert those pictures. I really don't know how to do it, but I'll try to do it. I'll try to figure it out, and then hopefully I'll make another video soon. See you guys at the next one.